ka Mount Olive Culinary and Hospitality Management Shillong ka khot admission haki professional courses bapair ya ka Jaintia ka ba khamnya lecture ka city office 100 academy ha malki
Unang ilam kaliang persya ya ka Sorkar Jylla Dr. Mukul Sangma. Ula Leit Hiar sya ka Shnong Mukroh ban Leit jengok hi dalade ya ka jaga bajia ka jingsha siat yap jong ki khasi haki pulit jong ka Assam ka balaja ha ka step jong ka arpo artrik ha ka ba sangut kila dono ya la ka jingim. Hakani ka jingleit jengok ka jongu ula yo banya kren banya peliu jingmut bat ki nongkit kam Shnong ha ka bayday bat ka shongsuk shong shngan. Hadian kani nakaliang un Dr. Mukul Sangma ula Leit banjengo ya ki long ying jong kitu ki bala khlat no bat ula Leit ru banjengo ya ki arngut ki bamben saw naka jingsha siat kuli ki badan hapo civil hospital yalong bat ha jia keren baki doktor la pintip baya kini ki basitom jur on pinkin no shapo nigrims naka benta ka jing sumar ka bapaka habe keren mo Dr. Mukul Sangma hadian ka jinglik ban Hiar sha Mukroh ulong ba na ka ei ka bajia bat kat kum ka jinglap ka jongu la song thu shai baki pulet ka Assam kilawan bantur jubor syakani ka Shnong klem kanu ka jingyo Jingpynbeit na ki nong penyat bat kum kini ki jingjia ki jia na kapor syaki weipat ki benta jong ki kapot ka Meghalaya bat Assam ka longru na marga jing Shimsting ka Sorkar Jylla ban Jingpynbeit ya ka jia ka ja kapot ula ongru baka shong suk shong shngan hakitan kapot kadai bandan bat kadai ka kamaram jong ki artli ki Sorkar bat ka Jingpynbeit ka Assam ya ka SOP banturu shakapot jong ka Meghalaya kamlong ka badan nongrem bat ka Sorkar kalado jing shania na ki babun balang Shushu Dr. Mukul ulo ongba kadai ka kamaram jong ka Sorkar ban le ka badon kam namar ka jingdo no ya ki min sembreu hakitan kapot kalanang ja na kapor shakapor bat ka Sorkar kadai ban shim da ka rai ka bating bat dei ban yai da ka jing tokit ka bakham halor ban pinchitom ya ki badon kti katkum ka an
they should actually take the counterpart on board. Usually that's the SOP.
Yes, that's why when I met my counterpart, we were discussing on those lines.
How are they deviating from this SOP? That's a very dangerous trend.
We have not, the main intention was over there, the time was to get back those two people who have been arrested. Therefore, the situation further escalates here.
How far is Khubor?
More than
50.
4 hours.
4 hours. 4 hours.
Yeah, DC told me.
How is the communication? There 4 hours drive.
DC essentially to that road, like their side.
Is something which should not have happened. You see, it's very painful and very disturbing to see these things happening. It is only because, as I have said, there's a complete disregard to the laid down norms, laid down guidelines, which should have been religiously followed, enabling us to avoid this kind of avoidable situation. Therefore, it's a question of lack of focus. Government must not lose their focus on this kind of responsibility and ensure that the overall peace and tranquility that we want to preserve and prevent from alienation of this kind of sense of peace and tranquility does not take place. We must preserve it, and that can happen only when you build up that confidence, trust. Now once you lose trust and confidence, then that whole sense of insecurity can create a easy trigger.
This is still something different from others in the sense what I gathered from the
Overloaded.
The other doctor was in him.
You refer both of them.
They have not decided from the Sunday.
The patient party, since the doctors are advising for shifting,
Yes, sir.
The timely decision is important. We don't know how much blood loss they have. Who is nephew? Your nephew? So doctors are advising them to shift to negatives.
Ông tỏ từ loại bộ cấm mắt mình phải cái sneaker Shillong
No, that will be taken care of by the administration. There's a system of this. They will take care, and then we will also oversee.
gặp Sorkar.
We'll make them understand, sir.
Yeah.
By tomorrow they'll understand.
Yeah, it'll be all taken care of.
Cả Hiar.
Then we will be all there. There'll be other people to do that.
Sang
They should have this thing.
Faham bawa besar di Krim. Jingpynbeit siapa? Terus di Krim Shillong, Jingpynbeit siapa? Sorkar. DC office.
And DC will take care of the whole treatment.
He will care of judge semua.
And we will also look after. Where are you from? But the hospital is full. How many beds in surgery?
It's around 16 here.
16. 10 female? Oh, 9.
We have the
How many of you are there with the disease? How many are this? No, no. Meeting the people, the villagers, the victims, and also after listening to the district administration. And from what has happened, it is abundantly clear that the authorities from Assam counterpart, having entered this village, created that situation, triggered that situation, resulting in what ultimately became a very unpleasant fallout, resulting in loss of precious innocent lives. Now, it is a matter of concern as to how, given the kind of similar situation that has been taking place in other parts of the state along the Assam-Meghalaya border, you have heard people coming with instances of alleged atrocities perpetrated by authorities from Assam in many of the villages, not only in this particular village. And it appears that the state government from our side has not been able to take up this issue head on with a counterpart. Because you must realize one thing, that having gone through these kind of similar situations in the past, knowing fully well that we have certain similar incidents which have taken place in some of the villages falling under the areas of difference along the Assam-Meghalaya border. Exhaustive deliberation, discussion, engagement have taken place with a counterpart number of times by successive governments, and the end result has been that pending the overall resolution of this border issue pertaining to areas of difference between Assam and Meghalaya, the peace and tranquility in those areas and along other areas as far as the Assam-Meghalaya border is concerned must be maintained, and it must be considered as the responsibility of both the governments. So, as a result of this exhaustive engagement, deliberation, discussion with the counterpart, involving both the state governments at the highest level, including at the level of the Chief Minister. What has happened was that there was agreed, laid down guidelines to deal with any kind of situation as and when we are confronted by these kind of challenges. And more like a laid down standard operative procedure to guide the authorities concerned. And these instances only clearly indicate that they have completely deviated from the laid down SOPs. And these particular instances of deviation from the standard operative procedure, which was mutually agreed upon by both the state governments at the highest level, allowing this slow deviation created a precedence. I think the overall situation that led to this kind of very painful incident that has happened today in the morning is we can easily draw a conclusion that it is because of the perceived feeling of the authorities of the counterpart from Assam authorities' perspective that they can do anything and get away. You look at number of similar instances. There is an instance of similar shooting last year in the month of September in one of the villages just ahead of this Murabber village. And this particular instance also has been brought to the notice of the authorities. What have the state government done to confront Assam government for these blatant atrocities which their authorities were perpetrating upon our innocent villagers? Now, having said this, what I want to express as a matter of my deep concern is that means the state government was found wanting to deal with this kind of situation. Was it because they have some other priorities? Their focus is completely misdirected. Therefore, the overall situation that has built up is because of failure of the government of Meghalaya to take Assam head on as and when such situation cropped up, and thereby creating that situation where Assam authorities continue to engage in this kind of atrocities with complete impunity, which is condemnable. Today we have lost precious lives of innocent lives. You have seen the victims, the family, the members of the Bir family, poor families, the most helpless people, whose job it is to ensure a sense of security amongst our people. It is a job of both the government. And if other government is seen as being the perpetrator, then the other government has to confront and ensure that they abide by the law of the land. So I went and we have we have expressed our condolences, and it was very painful to see the grieving members of the Bir family, very disturbing. We pray that everyone who is disturbed by this incident, and particularly the members of the Bir family, the victims, have peace and comfort in their heart. May God bless them with this peace and solace, having gone through these very painful experiences. We also visited these two of the victims who were injured but are fortunate enough to be still alive. I am told by the doctors that they need to be referred to Negrim's Shillong, and hopefully they should recover. But we will take stock of the whole situation, keeping in mind the problem that has culminated over the months, starting from last year. and culminated to this kind of very unpleasant situation resulting in loss of precious lives, which is condemnable. So I condemn the action of the Assam authorities. The overall impunity with which they continue to engage in atrocities against our innocent people along the border. This must be taken up head on by our government and ensure that there is no repetition whatsoever at any point of time in the days to come. And another part is that having seen the incident which has taken place resulting in this loss of life, they have definitely encroached upon our villages, which is completely unconstitutional, illegal. It's a criminal act. Therefore, the authorities concerned must ensure that we do not allow them to get away. The law must prevail, and punishment as per the law of the land must be reflected in a manner that gives reasons for people to believe in our administration of justice system. Therefore, there should not be any space for the parties concerned that they can do whatever they like and then they can get away. But then there must be a deterrence by invoking a fear for law for everybody. The law is for everyone. Now, who does not know the constitutional provision in as far as dealing with this kind of situation is concerned? You are talking about people who are considered as authorities, representing government authorities. Therefore, another thing, you see, what I have heard from the villagers is that there has been similar kind of constant atrocities perpetrated by the authorities from across the border by the authorities from Assam counterpart. And people are made to somehow, they were telling me today, there are alleged instances where Assam authorities have similarly infringed upon these villages, arrested our people, taken them to Assam, harassed them, and the allegation that is subject to inquiry and further follow-up as per law is that the allegations are there that they were all the time subjected to this kind of operation, suppression, and then atrocities, and through arrest, intimidation, and they had to, on number of occasions, pay to get their people released by these authorities concerned. So there's some larger areas of concern which must be investigated, and I will urge upon the government that there should be, proper investigation pertaining to this allegation also, that on number of counts, our villagers from these villages are subjected to arrest and they are harassed only when so it's more like a legal extortion, So this is something which should be investigated in a right perspective in the best interest of the people.